Hi, I'm back. It is Tuesday morning. I said I'd be here. Christina will be here too, but if you know Christina, we are kind of complete opposites. I'm always where I need to be 15 to 20 minutes earlier, and Christina, well, not so much. So she'll be over here shortly, but before she gets here, I just want to explain what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about healthy eating, about allergies, about different dietary choices that, well, sometimes they're choices and sometimes they're not choices. So we're going to talk about different ways of eating and how Thrive can help you out. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tracy Taylor, TLC, and my partner is Christina Rios. It's actually Rios Strada, but that's really hard to say, so she introduces herself as Christina Rios. So Christina Rios, TLC. What's TLC stand for? It stands for Thrive Life Consultant. So that means it doesn't stand for MD and it does not stand for RD. We are not registered dietitians. We are not medical doctors. So any advice we give you today, here's our disclaimer, right? Facebook heard me say it, so I'm not going to get any legal trouble. We're not giving medical advice. We're not telling you what you should or shouldn't be eating. What we are going to tell you is how, when you figure out what you should and shouldn't be eating, what we can do to help you out to get those products. So I see Christina up there now. She showed up at the door, so I'm just going to let her in. And there, block the camera. How's that, eh? There she is. Hi, Christina.
Hi.
So I just introduced ourselves. Again, I'm Tracy Taylor from Alberta, Canada, and this is
Christina Rios Tirado, and I am in New York.
And together we are the Chatty.
The Chatty Cooks.
See, she's always just a little bit late.
I always am. She's always like, so I can always count on Tracy to have like 500 messages go, where are you, where are you, where are you? And I'm like, here I am.
Here she is. I was just explaining to the nice people while they waited for you that we're not giving medical advice. We're not giving dietary obligations. What we're telling you is when you figure out what you need to eat, then you come and see us and we can help you to get it. And we can help you to get it in a way where you're not concerned about hidden ingredients. So I see Linda is watching. And Linda is a dear friend of mine who helped me raise my babies. We had twins within a couple months of each other. She had twin girls and I had the boys, obviously. Linda's one daughter had multiple allergies. She was allergic to almost everything. And it was awful because when we had baby group, I mean, we all learned to be so diligent about what we were feeding. They were babies. It was baby group even when they were 4. So diligent because even when we were doing something like frozen chicken, Linda would say, you have to watch because it's often coated in a casein, which is a protein that had a dairy in it. I think that's right, Linda, right? It had the dairy in it that was coating the chicken. But there were so many things in the food that we thought was clean, simple food that wasn't clean and it wasn't simple. And it was absolutely dangerous for Maddie to get any of that stuff. So I'm really glad that you're here, Linda, today, because I know that although if I remember correctly, Maddie's only allergy now is the cold, believe it or not. She's safe from a lot of the food. So yeah, the soy protein, that was what was in the chicken. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about allergies. We're going to talk a little bit about keto and gluten-free just because it is such a mass movement, whether it's by choice or necessity. So many people are doing keto, gluten-free lifestyles, and they're coming to us for asking questions. And then we're going to talk about plain, clean eating. So I'm going to let Christina take it away first with her little discussion on allergies and why Thrive has helped her out a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. No, you're supposed to smile and pause.
Pause.
Okay. So first of all, anybody that's watching, do we have people with allergies, or that a certain diet restriction that you're looking to, work on or find a different way or whatever? Because I know, like for me, Thrive has been huge. I'm gonna tell you about my daughter. She is my little allergy girl, and oops, I think my thing's gonna beep. 1 second. Oh my God.
This is Christina.
I'm hobbling. I'm sorry, I fell the other day and I blew out my knee and I've been hobbling and at least I'm not on the walker today. So I'm good. Um, my husband was in the Army for 27 years. And when one of our first things that we wanted to do when we bought our first home was we wanted a long-term storage. But I had to be very, very, very careful because my daughter has a lot of allergies. When she was little, she was preemie and she was like the most miserable baby ever. And they couldn't figure it out. It took forever. And it turned out she was allergic to soy and milk. And she wouldn't breastfeed or anything. She was a little pain in my butt. And so we ended up on that. And you know what? To this day, I don't even know what it was actually made out of, that Nutramigen stuff. And she was on that. Yeah, it was gross. It smelled so bad. But I'm
Anybody
telling
whose
you,
baby has been on Nutramigen knows the smell and the taste of it because
uh-huh,
we've all, made sure it wasn't too hot or whatever and put it in our mouth
yeah,
and then
yeah.
apologize to our babies. Yes.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it was like liquid gold. She went from this baby that like screamed constantly because the doctors would be like, "Oh, try this one, try that one," and I didn't even realize, it's so funny that there's so many allergies now that there didn't used to be. And she was also allergic. Then they did all the testing. She was also allergic to eggs and stuff like that. So it was really tough to, she was on that Nutramigen until she was like almost 2. They didn't even put her on regular milk because she was allergic. And so when I started looking for long-term storage, I had to be, even though now she has outgrown her milk allergy, and she has she has a slight one. She just registers a teeny tiny bit with it, but she's usually okay because, she's been on Zyrtec since she was 6 months old, and she's on a whole, she's got asthma, she's got all the allergies. She does allergy shots every week. She's been on Zyrtec since she was 6 months old. She's been singular since she was 6 months old. I swear, she's like, we go to the pharmacy and we come back with all this stuff. And it's really, I really hate it. I actually really hate it. And I don't know where all the allergies. She's also allergic to peanuts. She's allergic to a whole host of chemicals and everything else. So for me, when I started looking for long-term storage, I couldn't just, when you look for like, you look at a lot of the survival foods and stuff, and it's just basically crap in a bag. And it's like you can't even pronounce this stuff in it. And I swear to God, I don't care. My opinion is just my personal opinion. They poison us with our food. The things that they do to our food. I mean, every day there's something going across my newsfeed saying, "Oh, well, there's weed eater found in this. There's weed killer in this, and there's this chemical. It's just like where along the lines did they say, "Oh, okay, that's okay to put in our food." And it's really disgusting. And I really, honestly, my opinion is
right,
I
Linda?
really,
Gross.
it is. But I think that's why all of a sudden these kids, I don't remember kids having allergies when I was a kid. And the cancer rates are huge. And I think it's because our food is poison. No other country even wants to buy food from the US because of their food practices. So that was like huge for me. So when I found Thrive, I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? And I started researching. I found it on the Survival Moms blog. And because she was, somebody I had followed because, like I said, we we're not like hardcore preppers, but, we like to be prepared. And I started reading about it and I was like, wait a minute, like you look at something and, sometimes I have a hard time finding the ingredients because there's only one, it's just spinach. That's it, and like I will go to show somebody at the show and I'm like, there's only one ingredient. I mean, what are you picking up nowadays? It has one ingredient, nothing. Yeah. So I decided to buy Thrive, and I had been buying it for like 2-3 years and just tossing it in my basement just in case. And then when I joined, and then I got my first chef's pack, I was like, I was looking at the recipes and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this doesn't look like stuff I'd be cooking out over my fire. It wouldn't, whatever, I'm like, if I'm going to fry up a possum or, whatever I needed to do to survive.
Thrive
because that's
does
what
not do possum. There is no freeze-dried possum yet, but if you put it in the feedback, they're always looking for new ideas. But currently, we have no possum.
You have no possum, but you know what I mean. I'm just like, I'm thinking, okay, well, what if we're like an emergency situation and I gotta go kill me a possum, And so that was where my mindset was. I was like, I wasn't in an everyday eating mode when I picked this out. So we made that, and you know what? And she loved the stuff. Like she's a taco and sloppy Joe freak. She loves our ground beef and everything. And now, is she 100% Thrive? No, she's a teenager. Of course, she wants Pop-Tart or whatever. But I will tell you, we went in July, we were in, because we did so much traveling, we went to Utah, we went, and then we were down in DC, and because we were flying a lot, and we were doing a lot, different stuff. I wasn't actually able to bring as much Thrive with me as possible because we were, in DC, we were on the metro, we were walking around, I'm not carrying jars of Thrive with me. So we're eating out a lot. And I'm telling you, that kid, I hadn't even really noticed like how good her skin, because she has eczema, how good her skin looked and everything. And until that month, after eating eating a lot of crap that month, she was a mess. And her skin is still, like you can see, her tan is blotchy, 2 different colors, where the eczema shows up and everything, it's whiter. And it was, I mean, the kid was like bleeding from the eczema. And I was like,
has she ever tried, like, I know that I have a couple customers that have milk intolerances, dairy intolerances, and they're able to drink our instant milk. They're also able to eat our yogurt. So I don't know if there's something in the freeze drying process that breaks down the enzyme that causes that intolerance. But I always say to them, if you're anaphylactic, I don't recommend you try it. But if you only get like an upset stomach or a little bit of skin rash, you might want to try it, because now I have customers who have kids that can eat our yogurt, that can't eat yogurt from a store. So what a great way that we can provide them with an alternative snack that's not going to go off, and that's not going to make their child with a skin rash or get an upset stomach or any of the, allergic reactions. And I'm not sure exactly why, but it's definitely something to consider.
Right. Well, it's different for everybody, because I know, like, their allergy levels, like, she's not anaphylactic with milk. She is with peanuts and shellfish, but she's not with milk. So we're lucky with that. And her milk allergy is like, just compared to what it was when she was a baby, it's just barely registering when they do the testing. So she's on such a high dose of Zyrtec, which she's been on almost her entire life, that kind of counteracts it. So she's usually okay with it. But she does the yogurt fine and all that. But with her, it's more the chemicals. And that's one of the things that I really love about this is the chemicals and the nutrition, which I'm going to talk about later when we talk about the clean eating, of like, you're really not going to find anything that has more nutritional value than the fruits and vegetables with Thrive. Because number one, like I said, the things that they do to our food, even our fresh produce, unless you're out picking it on the tree yourself and you know what somebody's done with it, like I know we have apple trees and I just planted peach trees. We don't spray our trees. We don't spray them with any kind of chemical or anything. Hi, Alexandria. Hi, Wanda. We don't spray ours. So, when my kids are eating apples off of my tree, they're eating simple and clean. Although now I have to say I'm a little bit more worried, because the farmer that owned the surrounding farmland before, we always loved getting our deer and everything, he planted soy, but he didn't use any of the liquid manure, he didn't use any chemicals, he didn't use anything. And now we've got them with the corn. I don't know if they use chemicals, whatever, but the corn, they got the big signs up saying, oh, science at work and all that kind of stuff. So it's, I kind of worry about now, because it goes into the groundwater and the creeks and the ponds and, in my trees. So I kind of worry a little bit about that. And even the deer now aren't as clean as they were. But this is a really great, if they're not allergic to this, I mean, I know that there's people, I have a friend whose son is allergic to corn. I'm like, that has to be a horrible allergy, because corn's in everything. But the great thing with Thrive is they take such pride in making in the quality of the food, and it makes it so much easier. And when you have, like, for instance, my daughter eats the tacos all the time. She's like a taco freak. And, and I love it because I know she's eating good. And, and usually tacos, I know, look at you. Usually tacos are one of those, they kind of joke like this, like it's a junk food or something. And it really isn't. It's all dependent on, as soon as you put one of those like store-bought seasoning packets in, it sure is. But if you're doing everything, and when she makes it, she's using the Thrive tomato sauce. We're using, cumin and chili powder, and she's making her own, seasoning. So it's, it's completely clean, and it's, I don't have to worry about it. And I know that she's getting a big kick in nutrients every time. So for people with allergies, it is really, really worth checking out, because, you never know, like when you're eating something, the chemicals, you never know what kind of reaction you're going to get. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let little Miss Thang over there. Yeah, I'm going to let little Miss Thang over there who's like baking up a storm. See, this is the other thing about the differences with us. You know, she's like, oh, look at, I made this and I made this and I'm making this. And I'm like, hey, I think I got some chicken salad in the fridge.
This morning I said to Christina, okay, I made muffins and I made ice cream and I made cheese tacos and I made taco dip. And she goes, I made a cup of coffee. And she's 2 hours ahead of me. So,
hey,
yes.
on my own defense, I've been taking painkillers, so you know.
Okay.
No,
okay.
that I'm like that anyway.
Yeah. So you have an excuse for today. You have an excuse for today.
Yeah, but they don't happen again. So.
Yeah. So I am going to just quickly talk about keto and gluten-free. I know they're not the same thing, but a lot of the recipes can be easily adapted for either of them. So you know what you can and you can't eat. You know how strict keto you are. You know when you're going to allow yourself your carbs and when you're not. And that's, you know, something that you've worked out with your dietitian or your doctor or your Keto for Dummies book, whatever. That's okay. You figured it out for yourself and that's great. So we know that we're kind of avoiding the wheat and the gluten. So I did eat a taco while she was talking and now it's stuck in my throat. So you just have to excuse me for 1 second. So our friend Christina Hallmeyer has a recipe for taco dip in her single serve magic. And all we do is we put the ingredients into a jar, add a little water and shake. So it's basically ground beef, shredded cheese, our corn, our onions, our chili peppers, and a little bit of seasoning, whether you're using pre-made seasoning or you're making up your own seasoning, which we now do in this house, just because we have it all. Why would we not? You can eat it with a spoon. It's awesome. Eat it as you go. I added red and green peppers to mine because I really love red and green peppers. But if you were avoiding, if you're gluten intolerant, then what you could do is you could use a corn tortilla. But if you're on keto, you're not going to have that either. So what I did was I made some little cheese tacos up. So what's in here? Ready? Everybody has a pen. Let me know you have a pen. Type pen in the comments so that I know I can give you the ingredients for this because you're all going to ask. So there's a 20-second delay, and I'm not telling everybody what the ingredients are until somebody writes down pen. I can wait. I have nowhere to go.
I don't have anywhere to go. I'm good.
I do have another little interview at 11, but that's okay. Nobody wants the recipe. 10. Thanks, Alexandria. Okay, you ready? Cheese. There you go. Got it? Cheese. That's all it is. I've taken our freeze-dried cheese, refreshed it up, put a little spoonful on a silicone mat, and threw it under the broiler. How long you broil it depends on how crispy it gets, but I don't know if we can hear this. See? See, that's right in my tea.
Cheesy tea, yum.
Cheesy tea, yeah. So then I've stuffed them, as you can see, with the taco mix. There we go, complete. Oh, look, the diehard the ketos out there, the diehard keto followers. See, I'm so worried about offending anybody. I don't know if calling you a keto is offensive, but my people who follow keto, sorry about the corn in here. I was worried about anyways, there wouldn't be corn in there if you made it, but look at that. So
well, we don't know the ins and outs completely of keto. I don't know about you. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the ins and outs of keto.
I don't pretend to. What I do know is if you tell me you can't have corn, I don't put corn in. It's easy to say, can you, I know the same with the beans. Some will eat beans, some won't eat beans. And I guess it probably depends on that day what else they're eating because they know how many carbs they're getting. So that's completely up to you.
Some don't eat dairy either on the keto.
What's that?
Some don't eat dairy. Some people don't eat dairy on keto and don't eat the cheese either. But you can always do cauliflower.
Yes, cauliflower. Cauliflower is a fantastic thing because you're avoiding the rice. On keto, you won't have quinoa and you won't have, so you won't have any noodles. So if you wanted your starch, you just rice up the cauliflower. Christina, is that one open?
Yep.
Okay, so if you grab a piece of the cauliflower out, and I have one here too, it will crumble in your hands. So this is great. So if you're trying to make you want to make a cauliflower crust or something for your pizza or a bread, like a cracker,
Or even your
easy
tortilla.
to do. You just, what?
Even your tortilla. You can make
tortilla,
a cauliflower
yep.
tortilla.
Just add it to your scrambled eggs. So the next thing I have is not keto, but we have a gluten-free flour. And I will tell you, until yesterday, I had never tried the gluten-free flour. I don't do a whole lot of baking, but I have heard wonderful things about this. So I tried it. I whipped up some muffins. Now, these muffins had about 3/4 of a cup of butter in the recipe for 15 muffins. Let me tell you, I'm going to say, Joanne, are you still here? Joanne will correct me. I have been trying all morning to figure out whether it's a scone or a scone. So I think it's a scone if I'm talking to my family, and if I'm talking to the Americans, I think it's a scone. So scone or a scone, that's kind of what they taste like. They are fantastic. I had to move to and hide them because I made 15 muffins yesterday, 2 left. So my gluten-free flour was not frowned upon by any of my family. They are buttery. They are magic. If you want the recipe, put scone or scone. It's spelled the same way, so it doesn't matter what you type. Recipe, and then I'll send you the recipe for that. Blueberries in there. Delicious. They're so buttery. I think they'd be really good with a little bit of custard.
You could probably put raspberries in there. Would probably be really good.
See, now I have a talk so I can finish eating, but I got one more thing to say.
Hey, I've got my gluten-free there. I only have 2 left, and I almost ate these, so I don't have a display. This is my fancy.
That's why she wants to show them now, so that she can eat them while I finish talking. But we do have macaroon mix as well. And our macaroon mix is gluten-free. So this is great when we go and do tastings with people. They get scone. You're saying scone, Suzanne, but my family says scone. I mean, you're saying scone. So it's the great debate. Is it a scone or is it a scone? It doesn't matter. It's darn delicious.
Yeah, who cares as long as it's good.
Yes, and so is the macaroon mix, apparently. There's Charlie. Charlie, is it a scone or a scone? Scone? Scone. Which one? She's like, how am I supposed to tell you? Anyways, we have the macaroon mix, so that's another gluten-free option. And one of my favorites is whipping cream with strawberries. Let's see, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. I refreshed them, whipped it up with whipping cream, threw it in the freezer for a little bit, and I have berry ripple ice cream. No sugar at all in there. I don't need it because the berries are sweet enough as they are. And berries are keto approved as long as they're done in the right dose. So take it away, Christina.
Awesome. But you know what we forgot? Talking about gluten-free and even possibly keto, because I'm not sure about how like celery and onions go into it, but we also have our chicken salad, which is gluten-free. And I know like with keto, you can there's a mayonnaise that they can use, a keto mayonnaise and everything. You can get our chicken salad, which is phenomenal. And we also have these in the to-goes, or you can make a nice big thing of it like this. I love it. And add your own seasoning, but you would also put in there whatever else you like to do. So I just wanted to do that. And one other thing you forgot for a really great snack.
I forgot them because I don't have any. I ate all mine. So we have our cheddar cheese bites. They're great because they come in individual packs or they come in the pouches. So that's a great thing to keep on hand because no matter what, and I hate the word diet. I really hate the word diet because diet implies that it's kind of, I'm going to do it now and in 14 days I'm going to be done with it. But no matter what your dietary concerns are, it's hard. It's hard to be out and about and be able to pick something up that you can trust. So the cheese bites are great to have on hand. Leave them in your car, leave them in your purse, your glove box, whatever. And when you need a snack, you're good to go. So Christina told you why. Okay, so both of us are preppers at heart. I know all of my people are going to go, yeah, really? Yeah, you all know I'm a prepper. But the reason that I eat this every day is not because I'm a prepper. It's because it is healthy. It is because I feel no guilt when my kids are opening the cans and continually eating out of the cans. I know that they're eating healthy food. So that was a big thing for me. Christina, it was allergies and being prepared. For us, it was being prepared and the whole clean eating. So Christina's going to talk a little bit about clean eating, and I'm going to eat my ice cream.
Okay, so, you know, I've been on a diet my whole life. Every day, every morning I wake up and say, today's the day I'm going to diet, you know, then I diet that day and I'm like, why am I not 50 pounds lighter at the end of the day? And, you know, it just doesn't work that way, you know, and it's like, and I know there's a lot of people out there that understand the struggle. So when I realized that Thrive could be used every day, because like seriously, that was a huge epiphany for me because I was just throwing it in my basement. Then I got into like really, you know, looking into it besides the fact that it's easy, it's fast. And like we were talking about the differences between Tracy and I, where she's Little Miss Plan It All and has, you know, everything all made. You know, I don't know until I'm actually making dinner what I'm going to make. That's why, like, for me, like when I'm like, if I'm doing it and I start whipping up, you know, I'm doing meals in jars while I'm cooking and everything. Because then, you know, if I come rushing through the door, I can just grab a jar and do what, you know, and make whatever I want to make. Like last night, you know, 8 o'clock, I was like, you know what? Some corn chowder tastes really good. And I whipped up some corn chowder in like 5 minutes. And it was so freaking good too. So, and the thing is that the part that I love is because I am always trying to eat better. It's always like, you know, my goal. And and it's like, it's funny because I've gone back to the doctors twice now in the last couple months. And I'm not saying I 100% thrive because I don't. But I use it every day and everything. But I'm like, I've lost 20 pounds without even trying because I've changed out so many different things, you know, and I'm like, okay, so you know what, that I can do just like eating better and eating and picking things that are better for me. And then getting into the doctor and being like, woohoo, bonus. So, you know, I really, really love that part. Plus the fact that I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't end up with stomach aches and everything. So I want to tell you why Thrive is clean and why it's because people, and I know we've got some consultants on here and everything. People that, like, when you tell them about freeze dried, I mean, like, honestly, I have had people come up to my booth and be like, "Ugh, freeze dried food," ugh. You know, and I'm like, wait a minute, have you had freeze dried food? Because there's a misconception that it's just like military food, MREs, whatever. I don't know. You guys don't call them MREs. Oh, she's leaving me. But people think MREs. My husband's been married for 27 years. If I fed him something that tasted like an MRE, believe me, I probably wouldn't be sitting here married, you know, because I've been feeding him for the last couple of years. So for me, you know, they don't realize how good the food is until you actually try it. And it's always like, my favorite part in a party is when I break out the chicken salad and I'm like, oh, here, you know, try chicken. They're like, ew, freeze-dried meat. And I'm like, just eat it in your mouth. They're like, in my mouth? Yeah, in your mouth. Chew it, eat it. And the transformation to like, ew, to,
it tastes just like chicken.
It tastes just like chicken. It's like, duh, because it is chicken, you know? It's like the only thing freeze-dried food is the moisture is removed. And I know that it's like, we're so used to like fruits and vegetables rotting in our fridge and everything that the thought of leaving a pantry can, I mean, my cauliflower here, this has probably been open for a month. You know, I've got asparagus here, and the asparagus is phenomenal. Nobody in my house likes asparagus but me. So this is like perfect. This is what it looks like. Can you see it? It's all cut. It is chopped. All I do is throw it in some boiling water and cook it to the softness that I like. And it's just so easy. And so I want to tell you why it's like that. Now, I have our little, it's going to be backwards, isn't it? Yep, it is. This is our little tale of two bananas, but you can tell the pictures. most people don't realize how old the produce is in the produce section at the store. You know, when you get stuff like I bought peaches the other day because I wanted regular, you know, with peaches because you know dried peaches are my jam. And I was like, oh, you know, peaches are out, so I grabbed them. And seriously, they like lasted me 2 days before they were like a big puddle in my fridge. And same with like bananas and all that. They last you what, like 2 days, 3 days once you got them in there. And the reason is because they're old. You know, they're old. You know, bananas, you know, what Thrive does is, huh?
Oh, I was just telling Alexandria, her package is on the way.
Oh, Thrive bananas. All right. So what Thrive does is everything is picked at the peak of freshness, of ripeness. So what does that mean for you? That means that it has the optimal nutrition and flavor. It is at the best that it's ever going to be. It's at the best. Whereas when you get your bananas at the grocery store, they're picked like 4 weeks before they're even ripe. They're ripe. They're not even nutritionally mature. You know, the theory behind it is that they're going to ripen on the way. Well, people don't think about it. Like they tell you, if you starve yourself, you know, your body starts breaking down your muscle because it's kind of basically feasting on itself. It's the same thing with vegetables and fruits because as soon as they're pulled from their life source, where are they getting their nutrients? They're going to break down on themselves and they're going to break down on their nutrients to feed themselves. It's kind of the same thing. And so by the time they get there and then they're going through this whole big long process and then they get to your store and a lot of times they're artificially ripened where they ripen them with a gas, they gas them and then they're put out on your thing and then you buy them. Whereas Thrive, what we do is peak of ripeness, the best they're going to be. They flash freeze them, freeze dry them, put them in our can, and then there you go. They're going to be good for 25 years, which I know sounds like that's crazy. How could they be like that? Well, they have no light, they have no air, and they have no moisture. That's why. So they're gonna preserve that way. All I can smell is this chicken salad. They're gonna preserve that way until you're ready to use them. I can smell the onions. The onions are so strong with our stuff. And it also is because it's retaining the nutrients. I've got my little thingy here. Our blueberries have 40% more calcium than any, you'd be hard pressed to find blueberries in the store that have that. Peaches have 21 times more vitamin C in Thrive peaches. And it's like that. Our spinach, all of them, the nutrient value is just jacked up because you're getting what it was intended to. Now, I get a lot of people that will like look at my can and go, oh, well, the carbs and the sugar is blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what that fruit has. You know, it's not added. There's nothing added. There's no, I mean, you look at the raspberries, That is it. So whatever.
Because when you're buying fruits and vegetables in the store, there's no product label. So I've had people say that too. I can't eat your strawberries. There's too many carbs in those strawberries. I said, you don't eat strawberries? Well, I can't eat your strawberries. I said, we didn't put anything into it. We took the water out. That was all that we did.
Yep.
But you know what?
I think that's too much conception because freeze drying.
Giving away all our secrets, but we have a whole show on the science behind Thrive, so we're not going to tell you everything right now, because then you won't want to watch that one.
No, but that get across to everybody is that we don't. Nothing is added. Nothing is, and it's without going out and picking it yourself. It's about as fresh as you're going to get it. You're going to get the most flavor. You're going to get the most nutrients. And I have a lot of people, like, especially like one of my favorite samples to give out is our red peppers. I always give those out at vendor events. And people will be like shocked at the amount of flavor in them. And I'm like, that's because you're used to eating old food. You're used to eating food that has been sitting there for days or weeks or whatever. I mean, so it has a lot more flavor. You're not used to that flavor. You're not used to having like, oh my gosh, that is so good. I had one lady tell me, it's fresher than getting it fresh. And I'm like, well, anything is fresher than the stuff in the store. Yeah. And so that is like really important. So when it comes to clean eating, it's really, you're not getting the chemicals, you're not getting, the additives, you go and get dehydrated stuff from the produce department. And I was looking at the strawberries the other day because I'm always curious. And they have dehydrated strawberries with strawberry flavoring added. I'm like, honestly, you had to add strawberry flavoring to the strawberries? Like, okay, whatever. See, I don't have my strawberry can, but it just has just strawberries. That's all that's in it. So it's a really, really great option. I know even like, yep, that's it. Even like, I know like diabetics have to watch, their sugar and everything. You have to be very careful with, but so there's nothing added. You only get at least, if you're going to have, I'm not like, I'm not for sure the ins and outs of what they can have, but you will know exactly, how many sugars are you having, and nothing is added. You're just having the natural fruit. So that is, if anybody has any questions about that, let me know. Cause like I said, it's so funny that clean eating is all the rage now, when it should have been that all along, and you should be able to find clean food all along, but you can't. You've got to really look to find completely clean food. And Thrive is, our Nutrilite promise and everything next time, and what that entails and all the little ins and outs. But I know we got to get going because Miss Tracy is famous and is doing a live today with the president of our company.
I bet you he's not going to be late.
Probably not. He won't be late. That's just me. That's part of my charm. So I have one
You are
flaw.
so worth waiting for.
I have one flaw. That's it.
So on that note, remember.
Did you notice? You didn't announce your winner from last time?
I didn't announce my winner. Did you announce your winner?
I didn't. Should we announce our winner?
Sure. Go ahead. Announce your winner.
Okay, my winner from last time with watching is Christy Ellsworth. She is going to get one of the new snackies, and I will be sending that out to her. So you can pick either I think I've got both downstairs. So you can either pick a cashew chew or you can pick the pina colada. Pina colada. Yeah. So that's my winner. Do you have a winner?
No, we'll do the same thing. We'll take all of the names of everybody who commented in today's live. And on Thursday, when we come back to you to talk about emergency preparedness, and whether that's an emergency like the zombies or an emergency like I just don't want to get out of my pajamas and go buy milk, doesn't matter the size of the emergency, we're going to help you to be prepared. So I'm Tracy Taylor from Alberta, Canada.
And I am Christina Rios Tirado from New York.
And together
we are
the Chatty
Cooks. Bye.